Welcome back. From dealing with the legality of the lockdown, we move on now to some issues arising from the lockdown, specifically issues of domestic and sexual violence. Legal practitioner Lola Vivo Adeniyi is the coordinator of the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team. She says there's been an increase in the reporting of these offenses, but assures Nigerians and particularly Lagosians that the state is leveraging on technology to assist victims during this period of the lockdown occasioned by the ravaging coronavirus pandemic.
As a result of the lockdown, we've started to see an increase in reporting via our hotlines, our social media handles, and it should be somewhat expected because we have a situation where survivors of domestic violence are now basically stuck with their abuser. Some of them use their jobs or school runs as a means of escape during the normal period of our movement, but as a result of the lockdown, they are literally stuck with these abusers. And so we've seen increase in people reaching out to us via our hotline, as I said, social media handles. Some are apprehensive, some are panicking, some don't know what to do, some just want someone to talk to, some are experiencing abuse during this period. And so it's a sad reality, but we're experiencing that now. Since the lockdown, we've been receiving on average 8 new cases daily via our hotline, and we've been getting on average 5, 6, 7 cases via our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and even our website, dsrealtylagos.org. Survivors, we're encouraging them not to panic, to be assured that the Lagos State government is a caring government, and we've basically taken all our services online. So we're still reachable, still accessible via our social media handles and our telephone lines. We've had calls to actually put a survivor into a shelter, into a home, provided by a non-governmental organization. So we're still working, albeit minimally. And for sexual violence, the health facilities are essential services, so they are still operational, they are still functional. We may not be able to arrest and charge cases to court at the moment, but we are ensuring that survivors are able to receive medical care, and that's being done as we speak. And then it's not a cause for concern. We shouldn't panic too much. It is a worrisome issue, but the most important thing is to be safe. And so what we're saying is, if you have a relative you can stay with, if you have a trusted family member or a friend you can stay with during this lockdown, we encourage survivors to take that option if they feel that their life is in danger. And then for those that may not have that option, we're encouraging them to basically develop a safety plan. Safety plan is basically things to do if you feel that you're in emergency and you need to immediately leave the place. So have a small bag that can have your essentials, important documentation, little money for you to use for transport. Have telephone numbers you can reach out to, family members, telephone numbers, social services, DS Realty, non-governmental. Just basically have resources that you can take advantage of. And then for residents of Lagos State, we want to encourage them to continue to serve as mandated reporters. We've seen a number of cases emanate from residents of Lagos State, and we're encouraged by this, and we want to encourage them to continue to speak up and speak out on behalf of the most vulnerable during this pandemic.
Now, some senior legal practitioners are keeping busy during this lockdown. Members of the Nigerian Bar Association Ikorodu branch Pro Bono Committee are on standby to provide free legal services to the public to ensure that their rights are not violated at this period. The chairman of the branch speaks to us about this initiative and how lawyers can help their communities at a time like this.
Well, the lockdown is not an easy measure to be taken at this point in time, because Nigerians are really a day-to-day kind of people. They work on a daily basis and they earn on a daily basis. So it's quite difficult to enforce something like a lockdown. And because their daily bread depends on their working on a daily basis, it's going to be very difficult for a lot of them to observe the lockdown. Another thing with the lockdown is the information that people get is mostly second-hand or third-hand. We assume that everybody is linked to the internet, or everybody has TV, or everyone has radio. We really don't. In communities like ours, for instance, in Ikorodu, a lot of people depend on second-hand or third-hand information. So, and we need to use town criers, like in community where I am right now. They still use town criers to pass information. Now, I'm not sure that we've used town criers to pass any information about COVID-19 at the moment. That's why we've encouraged our lawyers within each community they're residing in to get engaged in the community, to tell them about what's happening, to tell them how to, endure in this at this point in time, and to also tell them that the lockdown is not 100%. There are some exceptions, like some people can still go out and trade. And because we have a lot of those around where people have shops in front of their homes or very close to their homes, they can still trade. And we expect that people should, do that sparingly, but, do that anyway so that there can be some interaction within the community. Buying and selling, such things is what defines human beings. So basically, for us in the Bar Association, we try as much as possible to see how we can impact the community that we're in. And to do this, we've also encouraged our members by giving them some palliatives. We've equipped them also with health measures in carrying out these responsibilities. For instance, we have the Police Duty Solicitor Scheme, where volunteer lawyers go to the police stations and ensure that there hasn't been any illegal arrest or suspects have access to justice. And because we've done this, the police are aware that we are involved in the enforcement process. And because of that, they're most unlikely to violate human rights. So we're on call, whether it's by phone call or by text messaging, or whichever means possible. We try and resolve conflicts within the communities, and we've encouraged our lawyers to do that. We've also done this by helping them with some funding. So we say that lawyers who go to court to do a case at this time, we give them a little something to be able to go to court and make some money, at least to buy some food. We also have members who have donated in cash and kind. We have members that are well-to-do, have given us some money for the welfare of other members. We've also had a member who has donated a bag of rice, which we've shared amongst members. So these kind of things we encourage within the legal family to be able to do. Most importantly, the best assets or the most interesting asset of a lawyer is his intellect, his experience, his exposure. And we're telling them you have a lot to offer the community. That at this time, you can use that intellect to help in such a way that even after the COVID-19 passes, you can get more clientele just by being available to your community. There's some disputes. For instance, we resolved the dispute 2 days ago where a man allegedly hits his wife. And we know that there's going to be some tension between households at a time like this, between husbands and wife, children and their parents, neighbors. There's going to be a lot of conflict. We've even received conflicts of people in the community, youths playing football and the neighbors don't like it. There's a lot of conflict going on. And we as lawyers have a role to play in mediating those conflicts. Now, after COVID-19, whatever we've done, I'm sure that the community will appreciate it. And those clients we've been looking for will just right there at our fingertips. So there's a lot lawyers can do at this time.
And that's the program this week. Don't forget that you can watch again this episode of the program and past episodes on our YouTube channel. I'm Shola Sheyeli. Thank you for watching.